Hello and welcome to another one podcast.
We have a Patreon. It's one of the best Patreons in the game.
By best, it's more of us.
Hundreds of hours of content. There's specials on there.
Three
specials. 2 live shows. It's one of the best Patreons around. You won't regret it. Sign up. £3 a month. That's all it fucking is.
I can't promise you it's one of the best or the most valuable, but if you enjoy us,
I think it is.
It's the only way to guarantee this carries on.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
Genuinely.
It's up to you. Would you like this podcast to carry on? If the answer to that question is yes, then why not part with 75p a week by signing up to our Patreon?
Patreon.com/another one podcast. Sign up to it. You don't even have to enjoy the content that's on there.
You don't even have to watch it.
No.
Just
sign up.
75p a week,
yeah,
so that you get your public episode every week, guaranteed. Because if it drops below a certain level, it will stop.
75p a week.
The minute this costs us money again, it's gone.
Yeah, and it's
barely even.
So, please,
for the love of God,
yeah, please. Now it's beyond a joke. Now there's only one podcast that needs the money, and that's ours. We're absolutely brassic, and we've got the most outgoings, like dependents.
Another one.
Hello everyone, welcome to another one podcast with me, Simon Wozniak, co-host Rob Thomas, and joining us is another one Hall of Famer.
I'm here.
Dominic Hatton-Woods.
I'm shocked I'm here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. You messaged me and I just said, did you mean to send me this?
I know. Why was you so shocked?
Because last time I had a conversation with you told me that I was a registered sex offender. And that's the reason I would do so many gigs.
Yes.
You told me
but that
I do so many gigs because I don't want to get famous enough that when it comes out, I've got some leverage.
Yes, that
That's
was at
what you
Hot
said.
Water, wasn't it?
Hot Water,
in the green room, I remember that now, yeah. And there was another guy that was a good guy. He doesn't do it anymore.
There was a guy from...
I'd say you stand by that, though.
I don't remember what I said, but it sounds something like what I would have said.
You're like, Dom, mate, I think you're all right.
It was after our live show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I was in a good way. I was gone, yeah.
And there was another guy there from Bristol.
Yes.
Alex.
Yeah, but I would say if you were caught, you were one of the people that go, yeah.
I mean, these videos don't help.
No, you got the vibe of someone who go, okay, fair enough, yeah. Like not, when some people you're like, oh my God, how shocking. But no.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that.
I'd say fair enough if
What that?
You're saying if I got outed as a sex offender, yeah.
I'd say I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, I mean, it's easy to say that with anyone, though, isn't it?
No, there's some people where you can't come out. You go, yeah.
But I would say that the people that generally that never happens. No one ever gets outed, and you go, that makes sense. It's always, what a great guy. Because you
Savile,
like Savile.
That made sense.
Because they
well, that's what I mean. Yeah, you look at it,
but he did all the charity work and that.
No, but it made sense.
But no one does that much charity work.
I'm not doing any charity work.
Yeah, but Savile made sense. Savile made. Of course, he did. Look at the state of him.
There's a lot of them, like Russell Brand, makes loads of sense.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, my statement has no weight.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good one.
But the thing you're doing now online with the going through the old messages.
I'm doing that now.
But the fact that you're now like 30 doing that when you were...
I'm 25.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm older. I must look bad.
Yeah.
And I even say I'm 25. I go, these were 2014. I'm 25 now. And people go, he wasn't 14 then. He was 18.
Have you had anyone go at you for it? Yeah, thinking it seems a bit odd.
Yeah, one person.
Right. What did they say?
They said they helped me with my comedy, and they said if you're going to do this direction of comedy, we don't want to be associated with it. And I went, well, what do you mean? I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm just... But I think it's different because
so that's a comedian said that to you, not like just a regular person?
Like a booker.
What's the direction?
I don't know. And I was, I'm not... It's like... Because the videos I'm doing, it's not... It's like...
I thought there was more self-depreciation.
Exactly. It's me going, this was stupid. Why did I say that? It's not me going, well, look at what a legend I was.
Right. Yeah,
So-
that's what I thought.
And then it was basically someone that's booking, not gigs. I'm not going to say. Anyway.
Okay.
And they were like, we're just... And I said, well, their videos are doing well. It's helping me. I'm just going to keep doing it, I reckon.
Have you heard of the term of when you pro-evo a name?
What does that mean?
It's a green room thing, green room podcast thing. So, do you ever play Pro back in the day?
I don't know what that is.
It's a football game.
Oh, yeah.
But they never had a license to use real names. So they'd always use, like, something.
Merseyside Red would be Liverpool.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh, you can't do that. Would it be too easy?
I think so, yeah.
Right? Okay.
But, yeah, but I think it's fine. And also, if you look at the comments, of course there's some negative ones, but there always is.
Yeah, that's always going to happen, though.
People are going, oh, this is
And have you had anyone reply yet?
No.
Not one?
You haven't had any of the films that you message come back and go
one
like...
person did tag, because obviously there's no, you couldn't tell who I was messaging.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So,
Yeah, but then some of them people must know
well, yeah, but
who they are.
I reckon if I showed the girls these messages, they'd go, who was that? Because it was
Yeah.
11 years ago. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah. You reckon to them it was 10 a penny, but for you it was
There was
everything.
nothing, yeah. It was just another creepy 14-year-old message.
Are these on Facebook or these texts?
All on Facebook.
All on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just type in, hey, free kisses, and then it comes up. You know when you type in a word and it comes up with your message?
Oh, you
Yeah.
searched it all.
I don't scroll down to 2014.
And do you do it to all of them, depending on what they look like now or not? Do you have anything where you go, well, actually, no, I don't want to go to that one?
No, sure.
You do all of them?
Unless there are some that like we're talking for ages and like this will be ages. Too many videos.
Right.
It's got to be under 3 minutes for Instagram, doesn't it?
Oh, okay.
And the ones you've done for ages, even then you've found a way to fuck them up.
What do you mean?
Surely,
I found a way for it to go wrong.
Surely if you've done for ages, you were doing all right.
Yeah,
Like
we
you
never
would-
met though, because it would be like, oh, come round and about, well, how am I going to get there?
Why? Well, who are these people?
Just women. I didn't know them. I went to an all boys school, so we just sit around and message women. At night.
Sorry, I forgot that part.
We would just message women. 'cause
I
that's
thought
all-
these were other 14-year-olds. So these just random women.
just random women on Facebook. Yeah, that lived in the same place.
You've never met them?
Never. None of them.
Oh, you were just
like,
DMing birds?
maybe out of 1,000 I met 2.
And then where was you picking them out from?
Just suggested friends.
God. and sorry, did you get any replies again?
A lot of them reply.
Back in the day.
Well, back in the day, everyone was probably replying.
Everyone replied.
It was so sort of new.
I just go, hey, how
The
are
creeps
you?
hadn't got the woodwork yet.
Because I got MSN maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just go,
Okay.
hey, how are you? And
You
they,
think not replying, and then
Yeah, I get why you do that at 14. You go,
There's no
why
option.
not? Yeah.
my only option.
there's no girls at the school.
Well, there was no dating apps, I imagine.
No,
You're 14, you weren't, yeah.
So at 14, what was you hoping to get out of this at all?
probably sex. I would have thought. I don't know.
Did you genuinely believe you were gonna get sex out of it?
No,
No.
I just was hoping that because you want sex your whole life as a man, don't you? I think past
Yeah, of course,
9,
yeah.
you're probably thinking about it quite a lot.
Past 9.
9 years old. Yeah.
I'd say a bit later
come
than
on.
that.
Would you?
Yeah.
12, 13.
13.
I think I started masturbating at 12. I think
Right.
over calendars.
I think I was 13. I think I was I was much later in life.
So you went to all boys. I didn't know you were all boys school.
Well, I say that the boarding was all boys, and then we could see women in the day, just not at night.
Right.
Where were the women from? Where were the women?
From the school. What do you mean? They just went to the
Well,
school.
the women would have been in the local area, and the boys would have boarded, so the boys should have been from everywhere. But
No, the women could board too. They were just in a separate bit.
oh,
Obviously not
right, but you
mixing
weren't allowed to
genders,
mix at all.
They weren't mixing with me anyway.
So were there any stories from the school?
Yeah. A lot of gay stuff.
Was there?
Lots.
Really?
Loads.
Legit?
Really?
Yeah. Fucking like a lot.
See, I went to an all-boys school, and everyone
Did you?
assumes there'd be gay stuff, but there wasn't anything, like, no.
No,
But we weren't boarding.
the assumptions in my school would be correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so yours was like the archetype of what we think goes on.
Was
I
you
would
like
say so.
Tom Brown School Days? Very much like that.
What's that?
A famous book about boys boarding school.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh,
what
you'd have
that-
definitely been taught that now.
Well, we would. I saw everyone's dick, I think. And
Yeah,
actually,
Yeah, but I've
ironically,
seen all my mates.
ironically, the ones that didn't do the gay stuff were the gay ones. We thought.
Yeah.
Because they're
So
like,
what's the gayest thing you did in Vulcan school?
there was one day.
Oh, a friend did.
Well, it's pretty. No, I'll just
Yeah.
admit that I did it.
Okay.
So, bought curfew. I think you had to be in bed by 9 p.m. And I thought it was quite weird, but like teachers would walk through the dorms to make sure everyone was asleep.
Yeah.
It's a shit job, isn't it? Weird. And anyway, I thought, well, what? I need to masturbate. I'll wait till 11 p.m. when everyone else is asleep,
Yeah.
and then I can masturbate in peace. And everyone else had the same idea.
Yes, of course.
So
Yeah,
we
I
were
get it,
just
yeah.
Oh,
all
wow.
masturbating at once.
So did you ever start talking to each other whilst
Yeah,
you were doing
like,
it?
you masturbating? And they went, yeah. And I went, all right.
And then would you have like a game of who could go the furthest or like shoot the furthest or anything?
I do remember one point of us wanking each other off in a line.
Wow.
In a line.
Yeah, like human centipede.
Not a circle, just a
that
line.
way. Line.
What, like just like skiing?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That is gay.
How old are you when you did this?
14,
And how often?
15. Not that regularly, to be fair. And then we made a rule, right, we've got to masturbate in the showers.
Right, 'cause what was that? Why? What was wrong with doing it like this? It was just a bit too hard to organise.
Too gay, I think.
Yeah. Two on top.
Yeah, it just felt a little bit too.
Two on top.
Right.
Well, this isn't fun anymore. This is just gay.
Right.
I'm not enjoying this.
And then there was one guy that actually he wouldn't do any of it. Well, you're clearly gay because you're not.
Yeah.
You're worried you'll enjoy it too much. And then he actually came out. He did come out as gay, so I was right.
Yeah, so the sensible one was gay, yeah.
Right, so you can't enjoy it too much.
Yeah.
But you could do it enough like you would finish. Would you finish?
Was there no like amnesties?
I don't think I wasn't really coming at that age. I don't think you did.
So you were just pulling each other's willies and then
just for a bit,
and then
yeah.
that was it, and then you just stop.
Well, we didn't want to do homework, did we? So we do that.
How long would you pull each other's willies like that for?
I can't remember.
How long were you left alone
I
to
know.
be able to pull each other's willies?
This is great.
So there's no amnesties. Like I've shared the room with people working away,
Yeah.
and when you're working away, there's like an amnesty. So obviously the first rule, no one shits in the room.
Yeah.
You go and sit downstairs in the public toilets, and then the other amnesty was like, you both get back in from work, and you both get a shower, and you'd be like, hey, take your time in that shower, or you go down the bar and get the drinks, and I'll meet you in a minute, and you just take turns to do that. We both knew what was going on.
Well, how old are you at this point, though?
Adults.
Men.
Yeah, we
men.
aren't that organised.
No, this is like. Yeah.
I know, but I think even as kids, there's some sort of amnesty would have come into.
Yeah, but they were doing like wanking each
amnesties
other off in a
was
sense.
doing
It's a bit
it.
different from just rooming with your mate in a hotel where you go, you're wanking in the shower, I'm just going to let you do that.
Also, there was like 6 of us in one room, so what, we all going to go separately?
Do you remember who was the instigator? And what's he up to now?
Actually, there was one. It was really bad.
There's got to be one guy who went,
hey lads,
one guy, there's got to be one.
no, I'd imagine that's a group thing.
No, there's one guy that has to go.
I'd imagine you're watching something. You can tell us.
He's right.
Oh right.
Yeah, go on.
I was thinking you'd watch something and all he'd be like,
No.
Oh, how mad's that?
There's one guy that instigates.
Right.
There was one, and
what's he up to? Is he
I
head
think
of
he's
some?
living in London now. He's very straight, but
And he's
very straight.
and he's like some banker or something like.
I don't know. I try not to talk to him. I don't want to
Right.
bring him up.
So
but
he's gone. Sorry, he started it. So how did he go about instigating this? Do you remember or not?
he could suck his own dick, so he'd do that regularly.
Wow.
Was he?
So there was gay stuff going
See,
on, and we all
that's
thought that was
great.
cool as
Do you
well.
reckon that's gay?
Quite gay. I think.
Oh, who was it that
I couldn't
was
imagine
we do have
sucking.
bits
I
about
couldn't
it.
imagine sucking my own dick. I know,
But you fucking couldn't.
but I couldn't imagine even if I could, like wanting to.
Yeah, I think what I heard, I can't remember where I heard this, but like if you're sucking your own dick, it's like you're giving a blowjob.
You're sucking a dick, aren't you?
You're not getting off like you're not getting a blowjob. It's like you're giving one.
Because it's so hard to suck.
I think so, yeah.
Like the amount of effort you go to is giving your blowjob.
I think so, yeah.
I also think a lot of the attraction of a blowjob is the lady being
It's the
sexy about it, or it's not.
Yeah,
You're doing it
no,
to
there's
yourself.
nothing that would go like craning your neck to do it. Like, actually, you know what? It's probably easier to either pay someone or just.
We weren't paying someone then.
No.
But-
So the instigator, how did he instigate it? Sorry.
Well, we'd suck his own dick, and then one of us would
Hey
wait.
lads, watch this.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's not gay to me. If somebody said, "Hey lads, on a stag do something, watch this," and I would go, "That's impressive.
No,
that
we
is a
just
good
walk
trick."
in and he's just doing it.
And how
Oh,
did
no,
he
I
do
do
it?
remember
Legs
that.
on the wall and just.
No, just in his bed. Really, really impressive. Actually, should have joined.
That's incredible.
Under the quilt, or just like open
Just
for everyone to
open
see?
What the
on
fuck?
Oh, was it? Yeah.
That's amazing.
I thought-
In his bed. How would he do it?
13, no, you're very
Like,
agile.
are you lifting his legs behind?
No,
his,
he'd be like in a
Like in a backwards roll?
in a backwards roll, yeah, like jiu-jitsu.
Was he
okay, yeah.
Was he bottom bunk or top bunk, or did you not have bunks?
Bottom bunk, so I guess he could use the walls.
You could use
Yeah.
the thingies.
So he'd walk in. Right, so you'd walk in and you'd see him doing that.
Just became normal.
I don't imagine you'd walk in. I imagine you're all in the same time.
Yeah, you never go, "Hey lads, watch this." He's just sort of like,
No, he's just getting on with it.
and then
There'd be
and
no
then,
heads up.
No.
And then what happened to develop that into?
I do remember now. I remember there was two kids sat on the table.
Kids.
And,
Let's refrain from calling them kids.
They were
Even though,
kids.
yeah, but you were all kids, so let's refrain from calling them kids. Two people.
Peers
Yeah.
sat on
Here
the
we go,
table.
lovely.
And they would they would pretty much every night after school, before we get changed to go to dinner, they would wank each other off. And you just walk in and they'd be doing it, and they'd stop and they'd say hi, and then they just carry
How were
on.
they sat opposite? He's like cross-legged.
No, just like they were one there, and they're just going at it.
Right.
And then we just thought,
That's
No
almost
one was ejaculating
That's
here,
almost
though, were they?
respectable, isn't it?
No.
Though.
What do you mean respectable?
But there's no one's
Well, I like the fact
ejaculating.
that there's no hiding it. There's no shame in it.
They're just going, we're doing it, and that's all right.
It's like-
If no one's ejaculating, it doesn't
What's
seem
your
like it's
obsession with it's got
because
to be
that's the bit that's the bit when
fun
you
bit.
like. Well, that's the bit that it goes to,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like giving someone a shake on the arm, maybe.
I'd say that's
if you're not having fun, what's the point?
I'd say that's too gay though. When the cum comes out,
Did that ever happen?
I don't
Surely.
think
It must have been someone.
No.
who finished.
so. Not
Never.
from I never seen it.
Well, you
Right.
wouldn't hang around long enough, surely.
So then, them two lads would just wank each other.
And then we thought, well, they're doing it. They're going to do it anyway. So
you-
might as well.
So
join
we'll
in.
all do it.
You
We'll all do
buddied
it.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then you always got on a line and just started tossing each other off.
yeah. 2 tables together,
Right, and
sat on them,
How was you sitting down doing it?
sitting down.
Why
yeah.
don't I imagine
fully
standing
naked or you pants down with the top
Pants
on?
down, top.
Winnie the Pooh in it, yeah?
Pants down, top
Winnie the
on.
Pooh in it?
Winnie the Pooh in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a start.
I think that's incredible.
I like the fact that so many are in on it. It's sort of like I say, it takes away the stigma.
Like a community.
Well, you've added the stigma back when you've gone, he's gay for not getting involved. That's added the stigma back. But
I think
when you're all just
gay,
doing
that.
it, it's like, yeah, transcends the whole.
It transcends gay.
There's no stigma to it anymore.
It's not anything. That is just it's a ritual.
Just boys being boys.
Just a cult. Almost.
It's just like having a beer.
We've all got willies. We all enjoy playing with them. Let's see what it's like to play with others.
Yeah, and it was all right, and we thought that's not for us, but
Yeah.
we're here, aren't we? And then there was something did happen was another kid gave a kid in the year below him, the one that this guy could suck himself off, gave a kid in the year below him because it was year 11, year 10,
Yeah.
year 9, and then other buildings. And he gave him a pack of Oreos to suck him off, and then the kid just stole the Oreos. So then he tied him to a radiator
Oh.
for a day.
Radiator on.
No, it wasn't on.
Oh.
Just to be like, don't fuck with me again.
Naked. Did he do anything?
He's
to
naked, yeah. No, he didn't do anything to him. No. And then he was like, right, leave him there. So we just left him for the day. It's good times.
What do you think about looking back on all of this that went on? What do you think it's fucked with you a bit or not?
No, it's going to sound gay, but I had a great time at school.
So you'd recommend this?
lads being
to
lads.
No, I don't recommend it, I don't think.
Well, don't think rugby boys moan about it, do they? Like, they're all pissing at each other and stuff like that. And they think it's a great time.
It was a great time.
It's just part of growing up.
Have you never touched another man's penis?
No.
Don't think so.
No.
I think pissed. I might have held my mates while he's having a piss.
I might have grabbed it when you for fun.
I'll flick the.
But I've never.
Well, you might be gay then. You don't know.
No. I've never desired to watch to gay porn.
Interesting.
Like, you know when you being younger, even though everyone thinks you're older, when you first get into porn on the internet,
Yeah.
they never used to differentiate between straight and gay porn.
Yeah.
So you just be like in it, and then every like fifth video, just be two fellas going at
Is that
it.
right? Yeah.
So like you just so now and again you see one, as long as you've never gotten
Never
on
felt the
from it.
need to watch it even out of curiosity.
No, never like. Not on him. He was like, oh, never disgusted, but never like. Well, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm not gay.
Well, you have experimented to a degree then. Kind of, potentially. Been exposed to
Well,
it.
not really. It's the same way I've watched adverts. It's just in there. It's like, I couldn't help it. Wouldn't call it experimenting.
So you think because you've done all that, you can categorically now say you are.
I could say
you're straight.
I've made.
You're
the right
not bi
decision.
or anything. You don't.
Yeah, I think so. Because someone did say to me, there was a bi guy, and I was like, what's it like to sleep with a man? He went, you should try it. And I thought, well, I should.
Well, I've got a mate who's done everything sexualised besides him sleep with a man.
I think if I had
think
sex
you
with a
should.
man, I'd have an existential crisis.
Why?
Because I based my whole identity on being straight.
Yes.
And then
How
I'd
can
be
you
like,
base your identity on being?
well, I just think I'm women, they're fit. I want to find a nice woman. But then if I sleep with a man, and I liked it, I think I'd struggle to come to terms with that.
Oh,
Do you think you would?
Would I like it?
Would
Yeah.
you?
I don't think so.
I'm just trying to ask.
Sorry, would you struggle to come to terms with?
If I slept with a man?
If you slept with a man and you
I don't think
enjoyed
any
him
part of
more-
my identity is about being straight.
Because you've
though.
got a lady, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah,
I
that's just admin,
could
isn't it?
I
Yeah.
sleep with a man?
That's how you get with other ladies.
And then
I
you've
like
got
to
a-
think I've got the strength of character to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got to tell all your mates you're
What
gay.
to do it if you wanted to do it,
Well, just the fact that
or
you go
to do
like,
it if like.
well,
just do
obviously,
it.
I think like to go like, could you do that? It's like you could, but you wouldn't want to, but you could.
I think I'd struggle to maintain an erection.
I think life would be simpler.
Life would be simpler.
Yeah, seems having sex with men is pretty direct. You go, do you want to have sex? And they go, yeah, all right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In that sense, yeah.
Yeah, but the way society is, it's still dangerous, isn't it? Which isn't great.
What do you mean? Because the man might beat you up?
Well, just because
Oh, well,
the
that might be
people
your-
still the way the world is now.
Yeah.
Gay people are still getting having a hard time walking the streets and that. So it is sort of being like
Yeah, but they're
exactly this is
gay people, aren't they? Where they're like outwardly gay. Whereas if you'd just be you.
You mean flamboyant?
You wouldn't start wearing
yeah.
gay
I've
clothes,
seen
would you?
yeah. You see, I think all gay people are like.
Yeah, I think
fucking-
some people would be. I think sometimes that can be harder as well
What?
to be to come. What was it called? Straight. Isn't it straight facing or something?
What, just to come across as like a sort of
Yeah.
right.
Come across straight. People feel cheated.
Right.
So apparently, like homophobes get like apparently it's hard. Like homophobes take that worse.
Oh, because they're like, you've lied to me.
Yeah.
You've not let me be homophobic
Yeah,
to you.
yeah. You haven't
Yeah.
been outwardly gay because you come across. Yeah. I can't think of the word, but it's like straight perceiving or like. But yeah.
I don't know. Well, homophobia is everywhere, isn't it? Still, so it is harder. So the fact that I go like, I'm fine with being straight.
Yeah.
Like, don't rock the boat.
Right.
Were you less homophobic or more homophobic?
I don't think we were homophobic at all.
At
There was
all?
no gay. There was one guy and we were like, he must be gay. And he came
No,
out-
but I don't mean over sexuality. I mean over stereotypes then. Like if someone was more feminine, more likely to cry, more likely to not be involved in sports and stuff.
I don't think so.
Would, as a group, you be more sort of, oh, that's gay, even though you're doing all that, or was you more accepting that people were different?
Well, we called stuff gay, but that's great fun, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Just to be like, I'm going out with my girlfriend, that's gay. That's the best thing ever. To call stuff gay. But that's not homophobic, I wouldn't say.
sort of is. If
Gay
like,
is just a funny word, isn't it?
yes and no.
I think it was
I
back
do
in the
agree.
day.
I do agree, and I use it like that.
You must do that.
No, I use it like that, so I can't really like. I'm not having a go at anything. But what I mean is like, we tend to find is like rugby lads, because they are so sort of boys will be boys playing with each other and stuff.
Yeah.
They tend to be more homophobic in the sense of then if you do any stereotypes of actually being gay,
Yeah.
other than sucking your own mate off,
Yeah.
then they come down much harsher on it.
Interesting.
So like you're not allowed to be different.
Yeah, we didn't
You're
have
allowed
any
to
of
suck
that. I
each other
don't think.
off.
None of that. Wasn't that deep?
Do you think rugby boys are like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was in the team for a bit.
What, they're homophobic?
No, the gay
I would
bit.
say so.
Doing stuff.
Oh no, I know they do all that.
Oh,
Fingers up
I
bums
would
and
say
all that, and
The ones I've ran into. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
homophobic.
What about football?
Yeah, probably more probably football as well. Yeah. Anything sort of team, sort of gang related, probably.
Maybe it's just when there's a load of men together, teed up,
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
just get a bit mean.
everyone's scared to be the one left out. Everyone's scared to be the one that's different.
Yeah.
So you show any form of difference, like being more effeminate or not, and then
Going back to you saying you had a great time, but you wouldn't recommend it. Why is that?
Because maybe there was times where you didn't actually want to touch the guy's dick.
I mean,
You were just like, oh, well, I'm not going to miss out. Or I'm not going to be the one that doesn't join in.
like, so the boarding school thing though, because you,
Oh, just as a
yeah,
full
in
thing.
general, yeah, just as a thing, not like aside from all the antics that
Yeah,
went on,
yeah.
you had a great time, but you wouldn't.
Well, I had an interesting experience because I would board for a bit when my parents would go away or they were working a lot, and then I would come home. They only lived 20 minutes away.
Right.
So I wasn't always there, but there was a kid there from China, so that was always there. A lot of the people, if their dad was in the Navy or the Army, the forces, they would get a free.
Yeah,
So they were there all the time. But I don't know, because my home was broken anyway. My parents are divorced, so I was like, this is better than that. But I don't know if it is.
Better to be in one place than to be trying to get tossed about two places.
Yeah, and also I don't. People say it's a privileged thing, but I don't think to go to boarding school. Obviously, the privilege is they can pay for it, but I don't think it's a privileged experience.
You do me a favour. Can you put that fan? It's actually pointing at us.
No,
Yeah, but the privilege is it's a better education. I imagine that's what the privilege comes from.
Still got 3 GCSEs.
Yeah, sound. Yeah, but that's you though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I imagine the average.
you got
in your
3
school,
GCSEs?
3, yeah.
Oh, God.
I imagine the average in your school was a lot higher.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I didn't want to learn that information.
Was it a prestigious boarding
They
school?
didn't advertise it.
They might have done, but I think schools just lie about that, don't they? 90% pass rate, really.
Yeah, but I thought like all boarding schools and all like private schools and that, they'll just go, you're going to get like at least this.
Mine was like that, yeah.
The other thing is, you could really misbehave because teachers would be like, "Oh, we're going to suspend you," and you'd be like, "You're not, are you?" Because it's 10 grand a year for you.
Yeah, but you still have to pay when you suspended or not.
Not for the rest of the time though, just for the rest of that term. You have to pay for the next 4 years.
No, yeah, but you just get someone. Well, suspend means you come back, but expelled.
Expelled, I meant.
But even expelled though,
yeah,
be somebody else take your place.
yeah, but then I don't think they were full. It was it shut down the year after I left. It wasn't a very good school.
It was.
wasn't
There was a conspiracy that they got a new head teacher in, and that head teacher worked for a AQA, like a big run load of schools. And the conspiracy was that they got her in to run the school to the ground because they wanted to shut it down. That was a conspiracy. So she bring her in to fuck up the school so they could like legally shut it down.
Were there any dodgy teachers there?
One of them was a paedophile, actually convicted as a taught touch typing.
What's making that noise? Why is it?
I don't know. I was thinking
The rain, isn't it?
No.
That's probably not what you meant, is it?
Oh yes, the rain was he? Is it? Yes, the rain on the thingy. Nothing can do about that.
So one of them was convicted as a paedophile.
Oh, we got a convicted paedophile and all.
Yeah.
How bad of a nonce?
And
He had loads of images on his.
when
Like
when you
young or
young kid.
when you found out, how did you, what do you think?
I didn't care. Well, he was a nice guy. Although there was one.
Yeah, but did it surprise you?
No. Although there was
There you
one
go.
kid I hated, and I was like, this kid's dodgy as fuck.
Yeah.
I hated him. And then one day it came out that he had been taking pictures of young women underneath swimming pool things. And when when that came out, I was so happy.
Right.
Because I was like, I said he was
what age did he get caught?
like 14, so he wasn't technically.
Oh,
but still, it's
fine.
not great, is it? And
No.
I was like, I told you.
Bit of upskirting and that.
Yeah. And then one
Harmless.
I mean, you had no thoughts for the victims, like, but you just made it.
day, yeah, I was just happy I was right.
Yeah.
And then one day we were having an argument, and he went, "Your parents are divorced." I went, "Mate, you're a paedophile," and he had nothing to come back with that. Can't really
Yeah, it's hard to come back
recover
with
from
that.
that, can you?
What's he doing now?
Don't know. Should check. He liked F1.
Do you speak to any of the people you went to school with at all?
One of them died last year.
Oh, shit.
So didn't speak to her, but went to the funeral. And then
So how much time did you spend with the girls then?
I wasn't spending much. The footballers would spend a lot. They'd all get off in the cellar and that.
Oh.
I didn't have much luck in school with as you can tell from the.
Yeah.
Did you ever sneak any drugs into school?
No, wasn't that kind of school.
I've heard that in some private schools.
It sounds like prison.
Boarding schools. Well, no, just like you're in like 14, 15. They were all
Yeah, you don't know.
putting the willy in cocaine and then putting it in the girls and getting them high and all that.
I don't think you'd have to sneak it in your willy. The teachers aren't patting you down.
No,
on
they
the way
put
in.
it on the willy and then put it in the girl, inside the willy and have sex with the girl at 15.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
Why do they just take the? Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Both
From
snort
where?
cocaine.
Yeah.
Why don't they just take the cocaine?
Because they didn't want to take even the nose or the thing in case they get like they thought like the gums would go
Get
or the
swabbed.
nose would go. So they said the best way to get it in would be to put it. Well, they could put a finger, but they just put it on the end of the willy just for fun, and take it that way instead of go up
I
the bum
imagine
and
it
that.
just come off while you were.
Would that go into your system though, as the men?
I don't know.
Not as the man, but the one. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, of course. It
That's
was
what I've heard.
open flesh.
Have you heard this?
It's an open flesh.
from
wound, just
someone.
fucking-
I mean, I don't know how trust of a source
Did
this
you do
person
this?
is. No.
It sounds like you did this. That's what it
No,
sounds
I
like.
didn't do this, but I was sort of just saying, just sort of. So you don't speak to anybody.
No, not recently. Well, I saw a lot of people at the funeral, but apart from that.
So she must have only been young. That's quite sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it was sad. She was in Colombia, and I reckon she was doing coke, but apparently she just had a heart attack. But I reckon she was still doing coke.
Yeah.
Colombia.
If they die young of a heart attack, you thinking what's
Probably
going on there?
We got addicted from all of that. Was shoved up a fanny while she was in school.
She's a nice lady. Yeah, I did have another incident at school. I was pretty oblivious. There was a woman, a girl. She was in quite a bad way all the time. Anyway, and then we were in drama and everyone was clapping, and she had like a cut on her arm.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise what was going on at that time. So I said, have you drawn crayon on your arm? And then she ran out crying, never came back to school.
Oh.
Went to a mental institute.
Yeah, there's a lot of sad stories come from these schools, isn't
Very
there?
tragic, yeah. Very tragic school life.
You'd recommend it still?
No.
Oh, he said he wouldn't recommend it, didn't he?
I think
Oh, no, he had a great... Yeah, sorry.
I was there for 10 years, £100,000. What a waste.
Yes, sounds like
3
it.
GCSEs.
Yeah, that is wild.
That's not good, is it?
What
yeah,
did
you
they say?
What a waste, but surely you made contacts and stuff, like.
The only contacts I made, I learned, I started playing golf.
Yeah.
That was it. And then one of the other contacts I made, there was one guy I still speak to. He wants to be an actor, and he doesn't work or anything. I don't know where he gets money. I called him the other day. I said, what have you been up to? And I haven't spoken to him for 6 months. And he went, I've learned to make pasta. I went, all right, what would you put in it? He goes, no, just pasta.
Just making it from the bag.
Boil pasta.
Yeah.
And then he went,
Incredible, that.
I went, although it's a bit watery. And I went, all right, you're using a sieve, aren't you? And he goes, oh, what? And I went, he's just putting pasta sauce in water. So I then described to him what a sieve was.
Oh, that's incredible.
And he went, that's a good idea, that. As if I'd invented it.
Yeah.
I remember I went to uni with a really posh girl, and she tried to make pot noodle in a bowl. I couldn't understand why it wouldn't come out. Like, she's trying to pour, like...
Yeah.
She's trying to get it out while it was dry into a bowl. I'm like, it's called pot. Like, there's a line, you put hot water in it, it's going to just loosen up.
So I think
she mind blowing.
Private school kids are less intelligent than... Unless you're going to an elite level where it's hard to get in.
No,
I think we're less intelligent.
No, I think that's...
Not less intelligent because we don't have to do anything for ourselves. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Less resourceful.
Less resourceful, maybe, yeah.
When I came to uni, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know how to do anything. I had to learn in uni halls how to...
So what did you do in uni?
Did the comedy writing and performance course at Salford University.
So you did that 18, you went to uni?
No, I went to school, and then I was working in a gym for 3 years, and then I quit that, went to Cavos for 3 months, did a season as a rep, and then I worked for my dad for a bit, and then I worked as a bin man, and then I moved to 22, went to uni to do, and then just started doing stand-up.
Right, so you've only been doing stand-up 3 years?
No, 21, 4 years, 5 years nearly.
Is that all? I feel like you've been around longer than that.
Well, I've indented myself as a sex offender.
Like that, yeah. It does feel like that.
It feels like you've been around longer than that. So, when did you know you wanted to do stand-up?
I'll tell you what happened. I did a gig, and I was like, well, this is better than...
As part of your course? Or?
No, before that, in London. Just thought it would be a good thing to try. I was in this... Huh?
Where was it? Just some pub?
Islington, it was in like a hotel room, and it was an open mic.
Okay.
And it was fine, and I thought this is better. I just really didn't want to have a job.
Yeah.
I thought this is better than a job, innit?
You've never had to have a job, though, have you?
Yeah, I did. I was a bin man.
Okay. Well, rumour I've heard.
Yeah, but people, sorry, so just, right.
Right. Do you or do you not have an allowance?
No, I don't have an allowance.
You've
I
never
have a job, and I work.
You've never had an
stand-up.
allowance?
At uni, they supported me a bit.
No, so...
It's not an allowance.
Right, so since uni...
Who's told you this, anyway?
I don't know. It just goes around the circuit, doesn't it? I don't know. But I heard you had an allowance sort of thing, so that you never needed the job then?
No. I did stand up whilst being at uni, so I was getting money from uni, and then now I do stand up, and I work 2 days a week.
2 days a week?
But I'm doing stand up, so I get money from that.
How did you come about being a bin man?
I needed a job fast. And they
Why?
There's no interview. Because I quit the work job with my dad, and I didn't want to look like a dick.
What
he
did your
wouldn't
dad
give
do,
you
by the way?
anything?
Owned a building company
So you were on site working or in the office?
on site. It's terrible.
So he wouldn't give you anything, so you needed a job fast.
Well, I was like, I quit, fuck you. And he was
Yeah.
all right, good luck getting another job. And I was like, I'm going to show you. Got one the next day.
You're a bin
It's a
man.
bin man.
It's quite quick in a day.
There's no interview process. You just turn up, do an induction.
Put on the
then
high vis and off you go.
if you can put stuff in the bin, you're off.
And how long did you do that for?
About 8 months, I think.
Wait, you've been man for 8 months?
I've
Full time?
I've walked the streets.
Full time?
Yeah, 50, 60 hours a week. It's intense.
You did
That's
that?
another rumor.
Yeah.
That's another rumor. I heard you only been on for 2 weeks.
As a bin man,
Yeah.
who cares about who's making these rumours?
I don't know.
People have got.
What you got to understand is you come from a wealthy background.
There's been.
Or it seems you come from a wealthy background. So that means people are going to automatically have the backup, so things are going to get believed straight away, or people are going to look to things straight away. So I heard you had an allowance, and I heard you were a bin man for 2 weeks for the uniform, so you could start doing TikTok videos. They were the two rumours about you I heard.
Anything else?
Anything else to take off camera?
Yeah, okay. In my 5 years on the comedy circuit, there's been so many rumours. I think if these people not got anything better to do than make rumours up about me.
No, you just said
we sit around for 14 hours, mate. We have fuck all else to do apart from find someone we can go at and we hammer them.
Yeah.
There's someone sitting down to write jokes who actually Dom Hatton-Woods.
Oh, as if we'd spend our time working on jokes, Dom. You sit around and you go, who am I going to message on WhatsApp now about some cunt I've just seen online?
You annoyed me last night. I'll have a go at him.
There's been a lot, but I think I've overcome it now.
Yeah.
Starting to.
People seem
so
to
8 months.
Me a bit
So
more.
I'd say you're starting to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you've overcome it yet.
For the record, you were 8 months for the bin man to dispel any myths on the circuit for this 2 week nonsense.
Yeah, so any comics watching 8 months.
8 months.
60-hour weeks.
Yeah, some of them. Because the thing is if...
You got the paperwork for this?
I've got paperwork, yeah.
You got receipts?
Because they're going to be coming.
Yeah.
If the driver, as a bin man, if the driver wants to do overtime, you've got fuck all choice. Because you can't just get in your car and leave. So if they're like, we're doing overtime, you're doing overtime. Because you're trapped.
When you say the driver, is everyone else like the driver, though? Everyone else wants to do overtime?
A lot of people don't. But the drivers
just can't get back.
Generally, the drivers are older. They've got kids. They want to make as much money as possible.
So when the bins aren't collected, is that because someone's just gone fuck this and they've not turned up or they've not bothered?
So what happens is you'll have your own round, your own set route, and then sometimes you'll ring up and you'll go, I'm going home now.
Yeah.
It could be 12 o'clock, early day, and they'll go, no, you need to go and help Bill with his round, and then but you have the right to say no, but they'd always say yes. So if the bins aren't collected, just they did theirs too slow.
So on like over the Christmas or whenever the periods when they go like we're not having a bin collection for 4 weeks or something, why is that? Is that because the bin men have gone, we can't be arsed?
Probably less people are calling in sick a lot for Christmas, aren't they?
Well, they're allowed their breaks as well.
Yeah, have they got to work all the time?
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. But like some people go, this is a joke now. Like, because people get annoyed at Christmas with the bin, don't they? Because it's like the last one's on the 20th of December and then it's not getting done till the middle of Jan.
Just go tip.
I know, but people don't do that, do they?
There used to be a joke. They'd say that because over Christmas there was so much alcohol, but everyone's too pissed to drive to the tip.
Yeah.
True.
What was your... did you enjoy anything about being a bin man?
I hated it because they all hated me because I went to a private school.
Yeah.
So
it's like comedy then.
Been a running theme. They made rumours up about me.
Yeah. So what would they just rip you all day on the round?
I was really shit at it because I didn't give a fuck. So I would do it. I would just go quite slowly. Like, you need to be quicker. We need to do it. I'd be like, who cares? I'd say, mate, these are bins. Who gives a fuck? We'll do them today, and that'll be fine. And also, the slower we do them, the more you get paid. Yeah, because the longer you work, and they go, you private school kids, you got no work ethic.
Yeah,
and then I'd go, fair enough.
Yeah, that would be so funny.
I had a really bad argument with one of the guys. I can't remember what it was about.
Did you?
One day I just went to him, shut up. Who cares? And then we hated each other. Oh no, it was he would, because the driver, their job is to drive and help with the bins, but this guy would just sit there and wouldn't get out, so it would take his ages. So I said, mate, you gonna...
I've never seen a driver get out of it.
No, they don't get out. If you're on the road and you can't...
Do you have to be qualified to drive one of them?
Yeah, you need a HGV license, yeah.
Right.
Can't just have a driving license. That'd be mental, wouldn't it? It's fucking massive.
Yeah, but they're not that big, but assuming there was only be one in the group, then I'd have one.
Generally, the two loaders can't drive one, yeah. Otherwise, they'd be doing that.
Yeah,
that's the big
job. They get
job,
paid a bit more. A couple pound an hour more.
Yeah, a bit more skill in it.
I would just sleep when you're not doing it. When you're on the way to the yard and that, you just fall asleep.
I can't believe you that it was this like... Did you ever have any good days with the guys? It sounds like it would have been quite hellish.
8 months, you must have created some sort of bonds.
So let me say, I was on an agency, so if you're employed by the company, you have a set crew, 3 of you, and every day you're together. But I was on agency, so they throw you about like a whore.
Yeah.
And, but then eventually towards the end, they put me with these 2 guys.
Yeah.
And I really liked them. But I did have an argument because he would every morning, like a whore. Every morning, 6 a.m, he would play music out loud. Watching TikToks.
You must be the first bin man who went to private school.
He won't be the first.
I don't think.
I promise you now, he won't be the first.
Do you reckon?
No,
I don't think the first privately educated bin man, and he did 8 months, and they hated him.
But I can understand. Yeah,
They hated you.
because especially, was you honest with them as well?
About what?
Like, I'm just doing this because my dad sacked me.
No, we just be. I actually, this is bad.
Because if you were honest with them, I bet you they thought this cunt doesn't need to be here.
Well, I'll tell
And
you when
he's playing games with our only choice.
I'll tell you when
What
it
were you
got.
saying?
I'll tell you when it got really bad. Is I started making the TikToks as a bin man, and they did very. That was my first TikTok thing, and they did very well. And then there was a point where they all started to see them, and then they'd be like, "Oh, you mate," they just took the piss out of me non-stop.
Oh,
it was
right.
relentless. And then eventually the company, I stopped turning up, so they fired me, and the company called me up when you need to take those down. They've got the company logo in, and I said, "Well, you fired me now. You've got no leverage."
Yeah.
Quite proud of that.
Right.
And that was it.
Right. And did you ever get on any fights with these guys?
No, so this is the crew I got on with when I first started working with, and this guy 6 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
It was obviously a horrible time to be doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would watch TikToks just out loud on his phone, full blast. And I said to the driver one day when he wasn't there, "Does that not piss you off?" He went, "Yeah, it does, but I haven't said anything to him, and it's too late now. We've been working together a year." I'm right, okay. So one day I went, "Mate, have you not got headphones?" And he went, "Shut the fuck up."
Go on.
He went, "Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Come into our truck and tell me what to do." And oh god. And then one day,
You
and then,
struck so little fear in them.
Such a
It's so funny how little they just shut up.
Go on.
You
So what
really
happened?
thumb maggots. Shut
and then
up.
so I stayed with them for some reason because the other guy liked me. A lot of tension for that next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one day, we were eating our lunch, and this guy drove past with really loud music in his car.
Yeah.
And the guy I said to shouted out, "Went, have you not got headphones, mate?" And we all laughed, and then we bonded from that moment. So that's how it happened.
That's funny. That's quite cute, isn't
You
it?
should have bought him a pair of
Got a nice
headphones for
story.
the next day.
I should have done, but yeah,
And,
should've.
and did you have and from that moment on you got on all right?
We had a great time, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, you're slow," but they liked me. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's nice, isn't it, when they go like,
But you never think
worlds
to speed
apart
up.
and you've come together and
Come
you've
together.
worked and it's lovely.
yeah,
But did you never think to speed up?
Nah. It's 8 hours a day. You can't go full.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never think to just go their speed. Like,
I did try.
Like, why let everyone
I
down?
thought I was pretty. But also, this is the thing. I was doing the recycling. They didn't trust me with the big ones.
yeah.
So
I love how it's tiered. Oh, so the non-recyclables
They're
for the
the
big leagues. They're the big 4 round
Big
ones.
leagues.
They're the
Yeah,
guys who do the kick and everything.
Look at him going. He can't
Yeah.
be fucking trusted with that.
those cunts have a great time because you just stick it on. The machine does it. But you would be cardboard, recycling, plastic,
Yeah.
glass, food waste, and a lot of people don't. They mix them, so you've
Yeah.
got to sort it through. And often I would
What?
just, if there was a cardboard with a few pieces of plastic, I'd just go, "Fuck off, chuck it in the cardboard." And they go, "What do you think you're doing?" Like, "What are you, Greta Thunberg? Who gives a shit? Just
Hang
let
on,
it be in
hang
there."
on.
What?
You get the recycling bin. It's got all manner of thing in it. It's
Not
not.
in Somerset.
Not in where he was.
Not in Somerset. Not
So-
in Somerset.
Some of them have different
Boxes. And this was also 5 years ago, for however long ago.
Wow.
So that was difficult.
Now they have machinery that you go back to the yard and it does that.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
So how many bins would they have in Somerset?
One cardboard, one glass, and plastic. So you had to go through that. And then one food waste. No. Cardboard, plastic, glass,
Garden.
food waste.
Garden waste as well.
No, that was big ones.
They were big ones. It was part of the big
Oh,
three.
big leagues.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah.
So they had 2 big ones, 3 little ones.
They were all immense of them lot.
No, 4 little ones. Cardboard, plastic. It was hard, man.
So recycling was where you put the ones who don't fuck them. You're the lowest on the rung there.
Well, because the big bins are quite a prestigious position, so they never really needed stuff.
Are they paid more?
They pay the same, but this was quite sad. I did actually at one point. I had a trial run on I saw the Hollywood. I went out to the big bins for a few weeks, and some days
Who made that decision?
I left, came back, and then they hadn't communicated that I was working with the other one. So I went to the big bins and tried my luck.
Right.
And I turn up some days, 6 a.m., have a monster, and then and also that was closer to my house. I thought, great, have a monster, and they go, "Oh, we don't need you today." So I just have to go home,
Right.
which I quite enjoyed. Go back to sleep,
No money.
no money.
You just say on the day, no, don't need you. So
Say on the day, I say, "Can you call me?" And they go, "No, we don't really know until you get here." I'm right, okay, that seems unreasonable. I can't really argue.
and what was the money like as a bin man?
Like £12 an hour basic, 15 an hour overtime, which you always would pass 40 hours. So we'd always do that. And then on like bank holidays, double pay.
And like, were they on more if they were cards in?
About 14 to 16 an hour. Overtime 16. Probably overtime 17. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never asked. I did ask, but
Yeah.
I'm fascinated.
It's a decent wage then. Like, you're getting a decent wage, but just
it's the most money I've ever earned in my life.
didn't care. Were you still with mum and dad at this point?
I was living with my mum, so and it was during the pandemic, so I was saving bank.
Oh, yeah.
And did you ever pick up any techniques on how to move bins better than what the regular folk do or not? No.
I didn't do the big bins for very long.
No, but like any tricks, like tips and tricks to get a heavy bin moving?
I imagine they didn't show them.
They didn't show me.
No.
Title posh prick. Absolutely not. Showing them our tricks, let them learn
They
for
don't teach
themselves.
you this at private school. The fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was alright.
Weirdly, no.
Did you ever knock over a bin and then all the rubbish fell out and then you had to...
Food bins, yeah, that was fucking bleak.
And then you had to scoop it all
And sometimes it goes all over you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah.
Remember one time you wear gloves, and one time I didn't wear gloves, so I cut my finger on the food waste thing and they got infected. That was pretty grim.
Have you got any tips? Christmas time, people leave out drinks in there for you.
Tips? For what?
Do you know,
To get the bin men
Tip
to
the
take
bin
your
man
stuff?
sometimes.
Oh, do we get tips? Yeah, fucking one day we got all these tips.
yeah,
They didn't
Christmas you put
they never gave me the tips.
the ale on the didn't they?
No, they didn't give me.
Oh, no tips for agency.
No, because
No.
I was on agency, so I didn't have a crew, so they would share it between the crew. So I would fill in for a guy, and he'd get my tips for that day.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's not for the day, it's for the year,
So
isn't
there
it?
you go.
That's
You
why.
don't need them, and I'll get fair enough. Don't need them.
So, hang on. After 8 months, why did you jib it?
I went to because I kept taking days off because I was trying to get to uni, so I was doing the work for that, and then they just said, "Mate, this is ridiculous."
And what did your mum and dad think when you said, I'm bin manning? Did they
My
say
mum was
anything
really
or-
happy. She was
Was
so
she,
proud of me because I was working every day. She'd drive past me sometimes, say, "Oh, you look so happy." I'd be like, "I'm not happy." And my dad, we weren't talking at that point.
Right.
So,
I imagine your dad might have been quite rude to you and quite dismissive of you being a bin man and could have said some nasty things to you maybe or not. Like a bit snarky to it and a bit sort of sneery.
What makes you think that?
Don't know, just sort of the vibe. I think you
So
might...
you give off of your dad?
The persona. Yeah, the thing is with my dad. So I did I spoke about my dad. A lot of people see me talk about him, and then I did a gig with Harry Stachini, and my dad was staying, and I saw him. I did his podcast, and he went, "Mate, your dad was not what I thought he'd be at all. He's quite a charming gentleman."
Yeah, I'm sure
I can
you
imagine
would be,
he is, yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't got a private school charm.
Yeah.
Most of us can't with a way of charm people.
Don't know what it is. It was one of the bad ones.
So,
Why did your dad sack you?
Oh, it's I crashed his van into his car.
Right.
then you had a shout match, you went, fuck this, I'm quitting.
No, and then he kept me. I was terrible. Like at one point, he was like, "You're going to do a bricklaying apprenticeship. You need to progress." Because I was just being a labourer. So he was like, "Right, watch a YouTube video and then try and build a few bricks." So I built the bricks. So obviously, with bricks, you put them like that,
Yeah.
and then you put the other brick in the middle, don't you?
Mhm.
I just did it like that.
Oh, you
One on
built
top of
it
each
straight
other.
up?
Yeah.
Right.
And then he was
nice.
like, "Are you a fucking idiot? You've watched that video. How did you?" He was quite an aggressive man at that point. And I just didn't want to be a tradesman. It's not what I wanted to do.
No.
Do you regret that now?
Yeah, and then I decided I was going to do comedy, and he was very supportive of that, actually.
Had you any intention to do comedy before this at all, or just when did
I
it
think I discovered it mid-bin manning, I think.
from just online or from like,
Just online.
and you went, oh, I'll do that.
Went to London, did a gig, and I thought, well, this is...
So you did the first gig, it went fine,
Went fine for what it was, you know.
and then you
first
just
gig.
cracked on.
Just cracked on. I didn't see any... Because I spoke to a load of comics, and they went, yeah, I'm a comic. But it seems that a lot of people have this perception of being a comic as like to earn money from comedy is like an impossible thing. I was like, well, he's doing it, so surely I can do it.
Yeah.
And then I did it.
So you're doing 2 weeks, you're doing 2 days a week. What sort of line of work?
I
now,
work in
or-
a golf shop now.
A golf shop?
Yeah, yeah. In
You
Didsbury.
come across that kind of person.
Oh, nice. Do you play golf?
I love golf. That's what I wanted to do. I think that's why I didn't focus in private school, because I wanted to be a professional golfer.
Could you not
And
be
I
a
was-
golf teacher?
I'd have to do a
What level of golf do you watch
Qualification.
handicap now?
8.
And that's the lowest it's ever been.
No, it was off 7 when I was a kid. But to be a pro, you have to be off 4, which I could do, but then I have to do another uni degree. I'm doing comedy. People say that as if you should take a career change.
No.
No,
I'm just saying. It's
No, I just think when people see you have a passion for something else, I think it's a bit like Because I think a lot of comics get the comedy because they've got nothing else.
I don't think it gets any better than being a stand-up comic. Like, we always complain about it, but as far as jobs go, I still work, but
if you don't want to do anything, then
it doesn't driving to Cardiff's hard, but it's not harder than doing a shift as a bin man. I can tell you that much. But I think the other thing I would like to being a rapper would be cool, but.
Yeah, we've all dabbled.
Yeah, we've
all dabbled with bars every now and then and going, oh, actually, this is hard. Tricky,
I wouldn't want that lifestyle.
No?
Leading up to being a rapper, like all the shooting, the drugs, and the guns, and the gang.
I don't know if they're all doing that now, are they?
Probably not. A lot of it's made up, I think, but, Yeah, but if you want to be a rapper, you want to be a proper one, don't you? You want to be H.
That is true.
Going out with a YouTuber and that, fuck off.
Yeah, I think comedy's the best thing. It's great. We're doing this.
Sort of like middle classy sort of rapping. I think it's what.
Yeah, that's interesting.
If you're from the streets, you end up rapping, and if you're from the sort of the suburban sort of thing, you end up doing comedy.
So what class are you? Would you class yourself?
I'm I'd say middle.
You're middle class, yeah.
What are you? Middle. Are you working? Yeah.
I'd say I
like the lower end.
Come from a working class family.
Yeah.
But probably middle.
Push yourself up.
You would probably class me as middle class, but I would say come from a working class family, identify as working class. But
right, okay.
If you were tick boxing, I'd probably end up tick boxing to be middle class.
Right, okay.
I think, but the thing is, the middle class is quite a broad spectrum at the minute, because some people are saying the middle class, I go, well, I'm not that. Yeah. So I go, I must be lower then. So you hear like lower middle class, which I don't know what that is, but like I go like, oh, I'm middle class. Then I see someone who goes, well, I'm middle class. I go, I think we're a bit.
I think
different.
middle class used to be when your dad employed people, didn't he? That was middle class, wasn't it?
My dad did employ people.
Yeah, so my dad's never employed anyone.
Was it something about if you sell your labour and you don't see the profits, you're working class?
Yeah, is that right?
I think so.
Do you still have an office job, or did you? Have you left?
No, I'm done now.
Full
time.
He's unemployed.
Full time. I'm unemployed. Sorry, yeah. I say unemployed.
And what?
I look at certain comics and go, "You're not a comic. You're unemployed."
And you think that's what you are?
I'm unemployed. Yeah.
And what do you do in the day now? So wake up.
I sit at home and panic. And it's a great way to spend your life.
You can't keep.
You can either be 8 hours in an office, like full of anxiety and depression, or you can have 12 hours at home panicking. Full of anxiety and depression.
It's unavoidable, whatever.
Yeah. Either way, you're going to be anxious.
Do you have any hobbies?
No. I drink, but I don't drink now because just for the podcast, I don't drink.
You should get a hobby, I reckon. Play golf.
I can't afford it.
I want to start playing golf, but I feel like I can't justify the time away from the family.
That's a great way to have time away from the family.
Well, it's a very selfish sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I can't justify it.
But I think doing stand-up, and that would be probably a bit unreasonable.
That's what I mean. It's very like I've already got a selfish like Sunday. Say this to Patreon. I say it now. Saturday, my wife got locked out the house.
Yeah,
and I couldn't answer the phone to help her because I was in a spa.
Right.
Because I was gigging away.
Yeah.
And there was a spa with the hotel for free.
Yeah.
I was like, and I'm working. I'm class is working here.
Yeah.
Well, she's locked out the house. It's like. Yeah, it's a very selfish sort of.
Yeah.
I'm just off on a jolly, basically.
Yeah, but she's locked herself out of the house.
Oh yeah, it's her own fault.
Come on,
it's her own fault.
That's not within your remit. There you go. Like,
you're in a spa or not.
No, but
yeah.
It's her own fault, but it's hard to be like, oh, sorry, never answered the phone to help you in your time of peril, love. I was in a spa.
But what if she was in a spa and you were locked out of the house?
Yeah, but she was in a spa, be on a holiday, wouldn't be anything to do with work.
It's true. But she
like,
should have worked
part
harder.
of my work is going for a spa, apparently.
She should have worked harder on the comedy circuit.
Yeah, maybe.
You've entered the pod game now, haven't you?
I'm in.
You've locked in.
Deliso Chaponda.
And Tony, what a three.
What a three.
No one saw that coming. No one saw that coming.
Well, I obviously do Deliso.
God himself.
I obviously do Deliso's tour.
Right, so Deliso's permanent sport act?
Half of it.
Right, what do you mean by do his tour then?
Tour support.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think? I was organising it.
Well,
mental, wouldn't it?
He has an assistant, doesn't he? Maybe that was your assistant.
So I do the support, half of it. So that's a lot of time we spend together driving. And he'd be like, "Oh, what do you reckon of the World War?" And I wouldn't know what the fuck he was on about. And then he said to me one day, "You should do a podcast with someone, just where they teach you stuff." And I said, "Well, let's do it." So then we're doing it.
Right.
And then how did Vino enter the fray?
We needed another person just for charisma. And Deliso and Vino are really good mates. So
Yeah.
And so we all met, and then now we're doing it. I didn't think it would last this long.
Yeah, it
How
happens.
long? How far gone's it?
We've done like 10 now. It's
All
good.
right.
Enjoying it.
Creeps up on you like.
Have you learned anything?
Don't really listen. Just try and say something funny.
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole point of the podcast has gone straight out the window.
Yeah. What's good about Antonia there was I can say... So at this podcast, we're talking about... This would never happen on...
Well, that's what I was going to ask you this.
I imagine there's
yeah.
lines on
I was
yours.
going to ask you this because obviously Tony,
Radio for the
very
Christians.
pious individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clean comic.
You, on the opposite end of the
Complete
spectrum,
opposite end of the spectrum. Just try and...
dad's quite heavy as well.
Yeah.
So you've got there's a little bit going on your side. Vino's clean cut.
Yeah.
And then you've got Deliso, who's sort of the middleman, I'm imagining.
Well, I guess my comedy is just saying... It's quite childish, I would say.
So do you have to do a lot of editing on your podcast?
No, I love saying it and looking at his face. Because it's like... I think the contrast makes it good.
But does he ever go, oh, I can't be associated with that sentence?
He has gone to some of the... He does say, I'm not sharing that.
Right.
Because he can't... Like, if I say... something, he does church gigs.
Yeah.
They can't be seeing that. But he doesn't... He's never had an issue with... What is it I've said?
It can be seen. He's just a shit house. Go on, sorry.
And then Deliso is, the middleman.
Yeah.
Right.
He came on this and apparently everyone hated him.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he came on this. Yeah, he was very
I think
antagonistic.
the problem was people forget that he's not British. So just assume he's just this big fucking right-wing Tory.
Yeah.
I kept trying to there's only so many times you can say to people, he's not a Tory, he's African.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's like he's seen real poverty.
Yeah.
So his worldview is different from ours.
Yeah.
Whereas they just think he's a fucking Tory.
Although he's not from poverty.
No, but he's seen poverty. And also he's from a place where corruption is just very bare and obvious and blatant, that he's a bit there's nothing you can do about it, so just fucking get on with it. Whereas over here we like to pretend our corruption isn't as blatant and obvious and that we can do something about it if someone was to be corrupt. So that's where we just lie to ourselves, whereas he's a bit more fuck it.
Apparently all of the comments were slagging him off.
Just call him a Tory, yeah.
Good episode.
Me and him really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But the audience just thought he was a massive Tory.
That's what makes good audio, though, isn't it? You don't want to hear people getting on. The best ones are to go, you want to hear people have an argument. That's what goes viral.
He said he thinks it made his Liverpool sales go down. As opposed to...
I don't think it had that much of an impact.
I don't think it would have an impact on
That's the thing when I do his gigs, it's they're really hard because they're radio for BGC people. And they don't want to hear what I've got to say.
And they're not listening to us.
So are they hard then, are they?
Ours are all scum, no friends.
Yeah, they're just not and it's also in theatres, they can be tricky sometimes. I think 100-seater theatres. Yeah.
You have to tailor what you do, don't you, sometimes?
Definitely, yeah.
Because it's age 14.
Are you letting them get away with that?
What?
The theatres can be tricky.
100-seater theatres can be tricky, I would say.
Yes, potentially, depending on the crowd that's in it.
No, I'm not having that.
Depending on the crowd
You're
that's in it.
not nicer than me, I'm not having that.
Because I like a club, they're like, oh, we're going to hear some mad stuff. But a theatre, they're like, oh, we're going to come watch a show.
Yeah, but you just take them with you.
I'm trying my hardest.
Yeah, the best thing about the theatre, they're going to sit and listen. She can do better stuff.
But I'm also going on to nothing. And the thing is,
but because they're a theatre, they're willing to sit and listen, and you can do more with that.
I find them tricky sometimes. Not done one in a while.
No, I think I think it's just the crowd, innit? And if they're there for Deliso and they're hearing you,
yeah, very different.
Yeah.
And also the thing is if you do Paul Smith's
I'm not having it,
tour, which you've
I do lots of sports.
Lots of all right. And you do Paul.
As soon as Rosie started doing it, I did lots of sports.
Paul is so famous that they're like, well, if he's bringing this guy with him, he must be sick. Because if Paul likes him.
Paul's good because he also goes on first.
Yeah.
Does half an hour, 20 minutes.
But then
and then brings you on.
Deliso's like a D-lister, so a lot of people might not even be that familiar with him yet. They're like, oh, well, who's this guy? For this guy we don't even know.
Yeah, but then I've done other people's, and it's fine. I think theatre, sit and listen, you can slow down, you can be less abrasive.
How do you get on in theatres like that? Because you're quite...
I think it matters. I think it just matters on what the crowd, who they're there for, can give you a gauge as to what they're going to go for and not go for.
Yeah.
You've never had a theatre gig and told me it was not anything but lovely.
No, but what I'm saying is any gig can be tough if they're not there for you.
Because you say some mad stuff. And if they're not going with that, I imagine...
Not so much. I've sometimes... Well, I tailor it now.
You can build it into them now.
got to tailor it.
You've got like I think a lot of. I know you're only 5 years in as well, but not to try to put you down, but like, yeah, a lot of being a comedian is learning how to say the same stuff in a different way.
Well, those gigs
Like,
did help me to learn those things, I think.
Yeah, because like,
So have you ever died on one of them?
Oh, really bad on one.
What happened?
Well, I did one, and I was only like 2 years in at this point. That was good. And
I have heard the Lisos are hard, though. To be fair,
what?
I have heard the Lisos are hard.
They are
to be
hard.
fair.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they would be. They would be. Yeah.
Would you do it?
I'd do it. Yeah, I wouldn't care. Yeah, but I think it wouldn't be the
Any Diet Coke in there?
No, I brought that with me.
From
water.
home.
Do you want another water?
Yeah, I'll have another water, yeah.
Go on. Yeah. So what happened at one of the?
Yeah, so there was the second one. So I did one and it was good. She was like, "Oh, come do loads more." He likes helping me, I think, which is very nice. I did another one and it was like in Nottingham, a load of old fucks. And I just went, I opened with a joke about going down on my girlfriend. And he went, "You need to get some cleaner stuff." So I went, "Okay, give me 3 months." And I got
give me 3 months.
Right. So did you only have what you had?
At that point, I only had 20 minutes. So it was like, if you don't like this, I'm fucked.
Fair enough.
Because
Did you tell them that?
No.
Why not?
Because I was scared. Because I was 2 years in.
This is the thing with the theatre audience, though. I think they'd love that.
That was the last tour that was just last year, so I was a lot more experienced then.
It is a lot, but like I remember
if I was 2-3 years in, I'd have died at all of them.
Yeah.
Easy. I'd have ate shit, especially in front of a Deliso crowd. If it was in front of like a Smith crowd after 2-3 years, there's more. I've got more of a chance. But if it's Deliso if it's BGT viewers and Radio 4 listeners, after 3-4 years, I'm dead in the water.
If you opened for Vigo Ven, how do you reckon that you'd get on?
Smash you.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Vigo Ven,
the guy that won BGT with the vests and that. Be tricky, wouldn't it?
Why?
I mean, who knows? I mean,
there's kids there.
Start.
Well, that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah,
that's a different beast. Like 8-year-olds?
You just changed the goalpost there. If you fuck kids, you'd be a paedophile.
Yeah. In front of 8-year-olds.
I know, but just
I couldn't do kids comedy.
No, I couldn't do anything in front of kids.
I've done it. I did it in Edinburgh, and I just took out the swear words, and it was all right.
Going down on your beard, but without talking about swears.
No, I don't do that bit anymore.
Talk about licking autism. Vagina.
About autism.
Talk about autism. A lot of people say
you
autistic.
Stamped or not?
Not yet.
No, you going for it?
Waiting for the certificate.
You had any tests then?
I did go for one, and they went, "We'll get back to you in 2 years." And I thought that seems like a long time, and they've not got back to me. They don't give a shit, do they?
No,
unless it's pressing your life, which is not.
No.
It doesn't really matter. It's not going to change your mind.
I was also thinking if you have been in a long-term relationship by the time you're 30, you shouldn't be allowed to get diagnosed.
Do you reckon, yeah.
So say you met a partner tomorrow, and you were together for 5 years.
Yeah.
The minute you turn 30, you're not allowed to get diagnosed with anything anymore.
Because it shows you can stay in a relationship.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
I think it is a big thing now, autism. Like, people are using it. I use it as an excuse all the time.
Even if
Yeah.
you've got it.
Yeah. So I've got autism, and they go,
when was the last time you used it as an excuse?
And he was 10 minutes late for this. Sorry, Rob, I've got autism. Anywhere to park.
Yeah.
Not for a while, I don't think. But my ex-girlfriend, I would say it a lot. She'd call me autistic. I'm like, well, if I'm autistic, I can't meet your mum. So.
Right, yeah. Oh, so that was a thing?
No, that wasn't a thing.
I was going to say, how long was you with your ex-girlfriend?
2 years. Bad times.
How was that your longest relationship?
That was my first and longest relationship.
Oh, your first and only.
Yeah.
How did you find her?
What?
How did you find her?
I liked it. It was good. She was far too good looking for me, I think.
Value that to you?
Huh?
That value that?
A lot of people told me.
Right.
And
did that affect it in any way?
No, I don't know. I just think that she was also 30 and I was 24.
Right.
That's a difference, isn't it?
Yeah, you could have got stung there, like.
And she...
Why did you dip out, or did she dip you?
Well, she was American. Her visa was running out at the end of that year. And we had a conversation. She was like, we'll stay together if I move. And I said, I don't think that's realistic. And then it was kind of an ending. That was it, really, wasn't it?
And how are you finding the circuit at the minute?
The comedy circuit?
Yeah.
I haven't had any rumours recently, so that's been good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about after this, though.
Oh, no, it's fine.
No, if anything, you dispel a few rumours. Like I say, no allowance then.
Yeah.
I heard you're on 6K.
Oscar Wilde, mate. Only one thing
6K
worse than
month for
Big
that.
Well, the
Lynch.
other one was Deliso was with another comic, and the other comic said that Dom lives in a mansion, and Deliso was like, lives in a student halls. So a lot of people think I live in like a mansion, but I moved here. I live.
Oh, I imagine your dad lives in a mansion. I don't imagine you.
No, my dad just lives in a house. He lives in a HMO, which he owns, to be fair.
Yeah.
I didn't help, did it? But he's just got one floor to himself. And I live with two other comics. I'm just in a house share now.
Right.
Who you living with?
Alex Camp, you know?
Oh, I know.
and
Alex,
then another guy called Ethan Smith, who...
Oh, Ethan's.
You know Ethan, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
From
I know,
Creature.
yeah. Oh no, hang on. No.
No, I think your Ethan Smith's different from the one I'm thinking of.
I'm
Do you think I
thinking
mean Ethan Mads?
Mads.
No,
Yeah,
not Ethan
sorry,
Mads. that'd be mental,
no.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, I thought why the hell that would have been a weird house
Yeah,
share.
that'd be
That.
awful. That'd be a lot of energy.
How long do you two live together?
Since August 23. It's good. House shares are
Enjoying it?
normally shit, so living with people you actually know is good, I think,
Yeah,
as opposed to just moving into a random one.
yeah. Oh, what, in Manchester.
Beaton might move out soon, so if you want
If you want to just jump in with you three.
to...
Just leave the family.
£450 a week.
How is the dad pod finished now?
The dad pod's finished. A few reasons. He says some mad stuff, like GB News, and he'd be like, trans women aren't real women, and I go, that's not really what I'm here for, Dad, but okay.
Yeah.
And then he's my dad, I don't want to talk back to him, so I've just got to sit there and listen to his mad views.
Yeah.
Right, so wouldn't you, even as for entertainment purposes, talk back to him?
Sometimes, but then it's like, with my dad, it's like hitting someone that's good at fighting. If you hit them hard, they're going to hit you harder.
Right.
So if you question him, he's going to come back with more facts that are not factual at all.
So he was a good arguer.
Yeah.
He was a really good arguer,
Yeah.
It's good remembering stuff.
Yeah, so I thought this needs... And also, it was just me pushing it, because my dad doesn't even have Instagram or Facebook, so...
Yeah.
But then I thought with Deliso, he's got profile, Tony's got stuff.
So was it I'm assuming it was your idea to start a podcast with your dad?
Yeah.
It was like a lockdown thing, was it?
No, we just started, because I was speaking about
It was a good thing though. Like I really like the idea. Did you know the idea behind it?
Well, it was going to be you interviewing your dad, wasn't it?
It was like...
Every episode was about his dad being a shit dad.
Yeah, and
He brings something up, and then his dad would justify that parenting wise. So that I thought that was really
it was good for like 10 episodes, but then I ran out of stuff.
Right,
Yeah, it sounds like a seasonal thing, that one, maybe, not a weekly one.
Yeah. But then we got Dom and Deliso, is good. Also, it's hard doing them not in person, because he lives in Somerset. On Zoom, difficult.
Was there anything hard to talk to him about, or was he quite?
Do you know
open?
what? He is an alcoholic, and he doesn't...
Ghost of Christmas future here for you.
It upsets me. It upsets me a lot. I don't drink because of that. It's quite a sensitive thing for me.
Yeah.
And whenever I confronted him about that, it was always quite confrontative. I'm not an alcoholic. I work to get you. You know, I'm working to build you a good life. I'm gonna have a drink. But then I said to him, "What about your drink?" And he goes, "I am an alcoholic," on the podcast, because I think he saw it as a greater thing. And now actually he's struggling at the minute, so he's going to Portugal. Has a mate that lives there, and he said, "I want you to come with me for a week and stop me drinking anything. And if I do drink, I'll give you 200 quid. So it's quite a mixed.
What,
200 quid per drink, or
every
just...
time he
200
drinks?
quid per drink. So
Really?
It's quite a mix for me.
egging him on.
Feeding him drinks.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal
That
with
sounds like a great way to get your son to come on holiday with you, that, though. I'm an alcoholic, come with me to stop me drinking, but every time I drink, I'll give you 200 quid. Like, you can't say no to
I might
that.
spike him, I think.
What's your dad like when you bring up things that he's done, or times that like that's a question?
Confrontational at first, but then if you sit in it, he will go, yeah.
See, my dad would never admit anything.
He's quite a reflectful man.
Oh, my dad's not. My dad can't reflect.
Yeah.
Has he apologised for anything to you?
Not off his own back.
What would you have liked him to apologise to you about that he hasn't, or he has now, or what?
So this is quite deep. We can get into it. 2019.
By the way, we're both got daddy issues as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. 2019,
Fully.
he got stabbed by drug dealers.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I was...
Can we go into that a bit more?
Yeah.
Go on.
So him and his mate were out. They were getting pissed every single night. They went out and got pissed. They were with a girl. I was working for him at the time. I'm living in his basement, right? And then County Lines dealers have moved in over the road in Yeovil, so it's really not the place where they'd go. So they're making a lot of noise on the street, and they're like making it much shitter than it was. A lot of fights. So then my dad and Mike thought they'd put a stop to it. So one night they knocked on my door and they're like, "Come have a drink with us." I went, "No, it's 3 a.m. I've got to work for you in the morning." Fuck off. Anyway, and then 6 a.m., the girl they're with comes and knocks on my door and goes, Dom, wake up. I went, fuck off. She goes, Mike's been stabbed. And I thought that was a thing to get me out.
Right,
I thought that was. And then I saw these lights come in through the basement, and it was ambulances. So I went out, and my dad's lay there in this pool of blood. Mike's there in this pool of blood. And what happened? They went over there to confront them. No, they went over there originally to say, can we buy some drugs? And the county lines with that guy's like, you don't actually want to buy drugs, fuck off. And my dad had an air gun that looked like a real gun.
Yeah.
So they threatened them with that, pulled them in, stabbed them. And that was it. And then I went to hospital. He was fine. And then when he got out, he asked me to go to the shop to buy him whiskey.
It's Mike or your dad?
My dad.
Yeah.
And I went, bought him it. I bought him the wrong whiskey, and he had a go at me. And I'd like him to apologise for that. And also the staff. He has apologised. He has said what we must have put you through that day must have been awful. I'm sorry. He has apologised, to be fair.
Yeah.
I suppose he had good intentions to stop the drug dealers.
What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, it was a bit. It was called the police.
6 a.m, he's off his head.
Yeah.
Also, if you take a gun to anyone's house, they are in their right to stab you, I would say.
Yeah.
So if I turn up at if you don't know me, I turn up at your door with a gun.
Yeah.
You're not letting me in, are you?
No.
No.
Kids are in there.
Yeah.
So what happened with the guys who did he press charges?
It was in their fault, so they didn't press charges because they obviously didn't want to be involved in any illegal stuff.
Yeah.
They were county lines guys.
So that's the whiskey thing. You want an apology for that?
That pissed me off because it was like I was like, you shouldn't be drinking, and he was like, I shouldn't have bought him it anyway. But I would like an apology for all of that probably. But because if I went with him, I would have got stabbed too.
Yeah. Bit
So
PTSD.
They both got stabbed. Your dad,
I
haven't
could
they?
have died, couldn't I? Yeah, really badly. Mike got stabbed. Like he's got this big cut across his face now.
Jesus.
I don't know how they didn't die. 7 times Mike got stabbed.
Fuck me.
Stabbed or slashed?
Stabbed in the body and that slashed on the face. Something that makes me working class, doesn't it?
Were these English people drug dealing?
Don't know. I never met him.
Right.
Never knocked on.
Yeah.
After that,
Probably sound Albanian. They're meant to be heavy.
but yeah, that was a bit mad. So I had quite a mad life in ways.
Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah.
That was when you're older, though.
I was 19.
Yeah. Part of me's a bit like, you just got to let that go.
I have let it go, I think.
No, you probably have, but I mean, as in like, I don't know, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a weird thing. Like, if your dad's doing shit like that in your 19s, like,
It was more
you're 19, you're 19, get on with it. So why you rely on you. But like, there must have been stuff when you're younger. Sort of thing, like.
No, but that is annoying if your dad, like, it's like, why are you that much of a cunt?
Yeah,
like,
it's
you're
annoying for your
arrogant.
dad. It's annoying your dad being so pathetic, isn't it? I'm saying your dad, but like my dad's never ordered his own taxi, and I find that pathetic.
Never what?
Ordered his own taxi.
I'd rather order a taxi for my dad than.
Yeah, so would I. But it's the patheticness of it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? As an adult, I'm a bit like, that's just pathetic. Whereas like, but as a child, that doesn't. It's other stuff that gets me than that.
No, but if your dad said, I'm going over the road to try and stop the drug dealers, you just go, Dad, what are you doing? You're not in that life. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And then if he's done it, you go like, that was just, you're just stupid.
Yeah.
Like you ring the police or something. Like it's not like there's somebody's a child's there getting stabbed. And you need someone you got to act. It's like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like the arrogance to think, I'll sort the drug dealers out. You're like, no, just
I'll sort these
who do you think?
criminals out.
There's no need. You're bringing trouble to it. Like,
Yeah.
Well, there was stuff like that happened when I was a kid too. He got arrested for some stuff at one point.
See, that's
that was
kind
quite
of thing.
problematic because I had no idea where he was. My mum didn't know. He hadn't been home for 3 days. I was getting in the car. Mum was taking me to school, and then these undercover police officers pull up and go, "Do you know I missed Hatton-Woods?" And we're like, "No." And then I've got to go to school. Mum told me they were just there to make a business deal with him. Well, that's not true, is it?
yeah. No, but that's the thing. I think it's the same with like when.
Why did your mum say no? Wouldn't she want?
She didn't know. He'd been gone for like 3 days, and then he was in prison.
Oh, do you know where Mr. Hatton-Woods is?
Yeah. Do you know where he
I
is?
thought you said Mrs. Hatton-Woods. So I
No,
thought your
no,
mum was been
Mr.
like, I'm not
She's
going
right
to. Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought your mum was like, I'm not getting involved in this. No idea what you're on about.
Yeah, they didn't know who he was, and then found my sister's car had coke in it, which he had.
Was that his? Like he put it in there.
He put it in there.
Wow. What like it was his personal use, or he was like
Personal use, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a bit heavy, isn't it?
So would your dad drink and then go to work the next day? Just be like...
Yeah, so my mum didn't... We lived in quite a big house. He would go to the shed and drink. So mum didn't even know until she'd take out the recycling. And she'd be like, where's all this come from? But it wasn't I never saw it as an issue, but then they'd break up, get back together. And I don't think he was ever violent towards her or anything, but...
Bottles in the bushes at the end of the garden.
Yeah. I just think he'd always stay up late.
But he'd still be able to just go to work the next day and function and stuff.
The next day, yeah. I just think...
Yeah, no, I get on a smaller scale, it's like when I've been in the car with my dad and the way he's driven purposely to cause something to happen to that, because he's not like the way someone's behaved on the road. He's made a point of doing this. Now, when I was younger and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, I was like, now there's like a confrontation on the road where they're staring and shouting. It's like, you knew he was pulling out. Why have you then made a point to drive quickly to then slam on to then show him that he's fucked up? But I get that now. I think as you get older, you get more and more fucked. So like your dad's more and more fucked, going like, I'm gonna sort. And I was like, rationally young, you go, what are you doing? But I think it's like when you're driving.
You reckon you see
I'm much more calmer now driving. I'm older.
You're a taxi driver, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, but if something happens, it keeps going the way it's going, you'll get to like 50 and you're like, I'm gonna make a point of what they've done there.
But that's probably because of what your dad. That's probably why you've got that thought. It's because what your dad did. Probably.
Which
big part of it, I would say.
Like your dad creeping into the yard like that.
So I think if your dad does something like that, so my dad drinks, so I think people would either be an alcoholic and follow that, or be completely opposed to
you
it.
keep the cycle going, or you stop it. Don't you?
So you've gone with it.
So do you never drink?
No, I haven't.
What's that?
Do you ever drink full stop?
No, and I would drink if like if there was an event there where people, if I was at Netflix were there, I would drink.
You drink for the
social.
Yes.
When you say drink, do you just mean you'd have a drink?
I'd have a drink. I wouldn't get pissed. I don't think, but I like to. If I was going to go out, so me and Ben Silver are going to go out soon to a rave and probably going to do drugs.
Yeah,
probably.
But I think doing drugs is much better than drinking. And you do drugs once a year. People drink every weekend.
Yeah, alcohol's awful.
But like doing drugs at a rave is a great experience. But drinking, I think you lose control of your body and you feel shit the next day. I don't really like the taste of it either.
Well, addiction's just a mad thing, isn't it? Addiction's a madness.
It's because it's so accepted. You could drink every day. You can drink every day of the week, and that's fine. That's normal.
So is your dad wanting to stop now?
He wants to stop, but he's having a hard time with it.
Is he not getting any help?
Is it now affecting him?
He is like very against AA.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't want to go to the AA and just hear people talk about the problems.
Yeah,
that's all that happens at the pub. So I don't think different, is it?
You can do it with the Fosters there, guy. No, I get that. I get when you go,
so good there.
I don't want to do AA. Because you go, like, I don't want to. It's like, you just think like, ugh.
He doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, really, the fact that he's taking me there. Shows he loves me a lot, I think.
Trust you?
To not drink.
Sees you as sensible.
And he feels like he's let me down if he does, so...
I'm going to bet he's going to have a drink.
No, to be fair, I went last year for 4 days and he didn't.
Didn't
Then
he?
he got straight back on it as soon as I left. Literally the next day, probably at the airport. But that's the challenge, if he can keep it
But
going.
also, how old is he?
58.
I'll let him go on
No,
then.
the thing is, though, he's
let him
got
drink
this
himself, whatever.
28-year-old girlfriend.
How old?
28 now.
Oh, wow.
And the thing is, she drinks like a 28-year-old. I said, you can't do this, Dad. Your body's not taking it.
So is he just not functioning like he used to then, basically, with it? Or is he drinking more?
I don't know, because I don't see him on a daily basis, but I try not to call him at night, because he'll be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still getting him going to work then?
He doesn't work anymore, which I think is part of the issue.
Yeah, he's feeling. Yeah, I get that. I think 58 now. He's sort of done. Let him do what he wants.
But it's not like now he's letting his hair down. This has been it forever, and he wants to stop. If he didn't want to stop, I wouldn't be involved.
Yeah,
you're not going to stop at 58, though. I mean,
but you say that though, like
I think there's a difference between stop it.
There's a 58 still young enough. You
might live till.
You might be looking there
80.
thinking, I've got 20 good years left. Yeah.
But not if he keeps drinking like that. He doesn't.
But to do what though? What's he doing then? 20 years?
He might have grandkids and anything, you know. Like.
But he loves
second chance.
He loves everything he wants to do is this would be better with a beer.
So like, I understand that, but what I mean is like there's still a thing in you where you're like, this is a second chance sort of. No, I say there's a thing in you. There isn't a thing in me. I'm very much where you're sitting, but in the sense of like, I can understand. No, I can understand where some people go, "Oh, I've got a second chance here."
I think it's just he's battled with it his whole life, and every day he wakes up when he's hungover feeling like he's let himself down. That's not a nice feeling to have every day, is it?
Then come 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? We get 12 o'clock.
Yeah, thirsty. Yeah, 12.
Yeah, I've seen him drinking earlier than that, yeah.
One more question about it. He's not like on like bottle of vodka in a day. Is it just like he likes it, a bottle of wine and a couple of beers sort of thing?
Oh, is he a classy drinking?
Yeah, like it's not like doing...
Yeah, wine and beer.
So he's just,
he's
just leave him, he's fine.
Joe drink from like 2 p.m. till
he passes
10,
out.
10 p.m, yeah.
That sounds like a great life, to be honest. 58, 28-year-old girlfriend, drinks beer and wine 2 till 10.
I know.
Mortgage free.
But also, this is bad. So his 28-year-old girlfriend...
Portugal holidays.
Lives in HMO.
Yeah. His 28-year-old girlfriend's got a 6-year-old kid, and sometimes they'll take him to the pub and he just sits there whilst they drink. That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not great.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's on air, though.
Yeah, that's on air. Yeah, that is on air, yeah.
He's raised his kids. Like,
Yeah.
That's badly.
Yeah.
But no, he's got... so
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that's happening.
Well,
Sounds like you drink a lot.
yeah.
You do post about it a lot.
I enjoy it, though, but it's like, I just want to be healthier. Just thinner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to be thinner, and the older you get, the harder it gets, doesn't it?
Going gym?
No. I know. But I think if I stopped drinking, it would make me go.
You had a stage of going gym, didn't you? You
I
were big
did.
into it a few years
I used
ago.
to be thin.
While he was in the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah,
on your Instagram.
when it was the pandemic and I could just get in a routine.
Yeah.
But with stand up, it's
You can. What time do you wake up today?
I'll do the school run and then I've got it. But then I get tired. I'm tired of
Tell me
drink.
what happened today, your day.
I woke up
At
7:30.
It's a trap, this was he? It's a trap.
Woke up 7:30.
Yeah.
School run.
Yeah.
Back home.
Yeah.
Little lie down. Little
Right.
sausage sandwich.
Yeah.
You're up early now, 7, by the way.
Yeah, but like up. I mean, that's when I'm groggy in bed, being shouted at to get up. Then put a wash on.
Yeah.
Pegged that out.
Yeah.
Did another wash. Pegged that out.
Yeah.
Had a shower.
Yeah.
Did some admin.
What applied for gigs and
Just sort of,
Send it,
yeah,
which is a
you know,
bifurcation.
sort of.
YouTube?
You what?
Watched YouTube probably.
A little bit of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch a man get eaten by a shark, and then by that time you're looking at about 1:30, 2. You're starting prepping for the school run. Back home, tea in, put the tea in, serve the tea up, had that, came here.
I reckon you could squeeze half an hour of gym in there if you wanted to.
Oh, I'm not saying there's, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, he
easy.
wasn't saying
That-
he's not time for it.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just I go then, and I'm thinking, oh, leave here now. I could either go and play poker in the pub, a few pints of Guinness, or home, bottle of Sauvignon, 4 bottles of Peroni or something. Put something on Netflix. Don't put anything on. Watch YouTube again. Watch Shark Eat Men, and then go to sleep. Wake up tomorrow like your dad, angry. Let myself down again.
Do you get angry that you drink a lot? Yeah.
When you wake up after the morning, you're fuming.
Yeah.
It's not the drink, though, is it?
It's the feeling.
No, it's the bone.
Sweaty, especially in this heat.
It's not just the drink, though. It's the lack of
Energy.
not discipline. Well, the lack of productivity from the day before added to the drink, knowing that because you drank, it's coming again.
Right.
You're not going to be productive again.
Yeah, but the productivity is
if you'd been productive during that day, gone to the gym, had a few drinks, woke up and knew, even if you woke up a little bit groggy, you would go in the gym again that day, you would feel much better about yourself.
Yeah, but I think I'd get in the gym and I think I'd be like, God, you're about to pass out here. Like the amount of times I've been in the gym, like I swear to God, I've been on that rower sometimes and I've gone like, this is it now. Like I've done 4 minutes on that thing. It's embarrassing sometimes.
And then you go home.
I've done 4 minutes on a rower. I've been that gassed. I've gone into the changing room, locked the door because you get singled, lay on the cold tiles for about 25 minutes, like almost slept, got up and I've walked out the gym shaking and I've gone, my heart is going to blow up and it's in this gym. Like I think this is pathetic for a 33-year-old man. Some of the things I've been in the gym and I've gone, this is sad, man. Like
But
sad.
you could push past that.
Yeah, but it's so depressing. Like the numbers and the performance is that bad. You go, I'm gonna have to just drink now because you're like, that was pathetic.
If anything, the gym is your trigger to drink. Sounds like.
Yeah, because if it was really great, I'd be like, "Phew, I feel good now.
Yeah.
Let's go and put a nice shirt on and sit and drink Guinness." Yeah, no, it's reframing it. Like I said, I've said this before. Like addiction to me is just it's madness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really
like
hard.
we all know. It's just the way you know it's bad. It's going to make you feel terrible, and you still do it. And you go, the gym is going to make me feel better, and it'll be perfect, and you never do it.
Yeah.
Mental.
It is mental.
What is some clever cunt will know what that means.
I don't know, it's hard, isn't it?
Someone will be able to tell me exactly what that is, and I'll be like, right.
I think it's just the things that are generally good for you aren't fun, are they?
No, but well,
I did 10,000 the 5 mile walk today.
Nice.
Did you?
Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy doing that?
Yeah.
Or would you have rather sat and had a crate and watched something on TV?
Yeah, it was a fun enjoyment.
I think you can do both, can't you?
No, you commit one.
No,
Don't rob Peter to pay Paul.
If you want to fully commit to one and really enjoy
Yeah,
it.
you go. I'm having a crate, and I'm just.
You did it before in the pandemic, so you could do it again.
That was because I had a
He wasn't
routine,
drinking,
and
no.
yeah, I had a month off.
He didn't have the anxiety of gigs. And,
Right.
Yeah, and I got like, you need to sort it out, and I was enjoying it. It was fun. Like it was because I was going to the gym, and I was getting higher weights, and I was like, I focused on getting more weight on it.
Yeah.
But then when the gigs came back, and then the late nights, and I'll go to the gym 4 o'clock tonight. Oh, can anyone get to this gig? Oh yeah, I'll do that instead.
Yeah.
Then you're home, Mackey's, and then you're just out of this. Then you spiral again.
Yeah.
Getting a routine is what you need, but also with this whole, you going on stage and it's peaking, and
Yeah.
when I wasn't gigging, there was no adrenaline spikes or nothing. It was just you're level.
Yeah.
You're not up or you're down. Whereas you're going, oh, I've got a new bit. It might not go well. Oh, it's gone well. Oh, great. It's gone terrible. Oh, I'm terrible. So you're like this. Whereas when you just no gigs, nothing. It was just like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I can see why people end up doing these 10K runs twice a week, because they're just flatlining with everything. They go, I might as well.
They need some sort of spike in their life.
Yeah.
So like that's why people do that and get in the gym, because they go, this is my thing.
What do you think you'd do if you went into comedy?
Golf.
How do you think your life would look?
I'd teach golf.
Would you?
I think so, yeah. I did have a choice when I was 16. I could either go to Yeovil College and do a sports science BTEC, or go to a golf school. And I went to the sports science. I regret that sometimes. But if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't be doing stand-up now.
I regret going to uni and not becoming a spark.
Doing what?
Going to uni and not becoming a spark.
Yeah. Not becoming a what?
Spark.
Electrician.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you said going to the spa. I thought, what's that got to do?
No.
Back to that, are we?
No.
What's it got to do with you?
Yeah.
Do you regret not being... The thing is, you could be an electrician now if you wanted to. Would you
No,
rather be an
it's too far
electrician
gone
than
now.
a stand-up comic?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
You could do both, I guess.
Yeah, you can.
No, but
Shanners, Stephen Yaski.
Basically, I just wish it started
Yeah.
either one of the two when I was 16 or when I was 18. I enjoyed college. I'm glad I went to college. That's where I found myself. But then after, uni was pointless.
I sometimes think actually
3
having a
years of
job...
pointlessness.
Sometimes I work the golf shop and then I'll go straight to a gig. You feel like a superhuman. Because you're like working all day. Do you know what I mean?
I did that for ages.
And you weren't drinking then as much?
Full time.
Yeah.
Full time comedy.
Yeah, I said to you, how do you do...
I was fucked.
Was it not mental? Because you were gigging.
Yeah, it was chaos. I have no idea how you just get through it though.
Well, the drive's not really hard to stay awake.
But it was just all just crumbling around me. The job was it got to a breaking point.
You're not doing well enough.
Did you get fired?
I had what someone asked me why I was late, and I just left.
Hair looks good today, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
What did you say?
His hair looks good today.
Yeah.
He's trying a new thing with his hair. So I just noticed that. I thought,
I,
pay him that compliment now, otherwise I'll never pay.
Thank you. It just gets to the point where you go, this is too much.
Yeah.
So, do you still play golf now then?
Yeah. Played today. I like it.
Just go around on your own.
Practiced.
Driving range.
Driving range, and I did some putting. I think it's a good thing to do because golf, stand-up, you're so if you're so immersed in it. You're applying for gigs all day, thinking about this new bit, thinking about why is that person doing that and I'm not. But golf, you're just completely focused on that for 4 hours.
Do you go to the driving range and stuff much?
Yeah, quite a lot.
You take me one time, teach you how to play golf.
Yeah, we can go, mate, if you want to go. Actually, there's a few comics that like Danny Davies plays golf, Liam Alexander, so Carl Legacy when he's here.
How do you deal with the bitterness of seeing people getting things, and you mentioned then you go, why is he doing that and I'm not? How do you deal with that?
I don't have it that much anymore because I live with Alex Camp, who we're on a similar level.
Yeah.
If you put our money down for the year, it would be the same.
Okay.
But then he does stuff like he works for Just the Tonic. I don't.
Right.
That's annoying. But then he doesn't do Deliso's tour, for example. So it's like I figured if they're doing something that I'm not, I'm doing something they're not. And I figured out that if I'm not doing that, it will happen at some point.
It doesn't need to happen.
Well, it doesn't always need to, but the time, I now don't do. I try not to play all the games of the clubs and go in to do I try not to play their ladder. When I'm good enough, I'll play it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also sort of.
There'll become a time where I get.
No. So sometimes just like hard, like Glee. Still don't book me.
Well, like I did the stand, and I did the 10 minutes on the Wednesday. I had a great set, and then 6 months later, they replied to me with feedback, and they said, "Dom, I had a good set. Would love to see more of him." 6 months, that's mental. And then she goes, "Do you want to come and do another 10 next Wednesday?" I went, "No, not really. It's in Newcastle." So I just said to her, like, what do you want me to do? What do you want to see from me? And what have you not seen that you need
another
to see?
Another 10?
Because all she's going to get is another paragraph saying it was good.
Yeah.
Well, it's another 10.
A different 10?
Yeah.
Well, how...
There's a bird.
Someone was coming in. That was her.
Yeah.
I would, if she says, she hasn't replied, but if she replies and do another 10, I'll do it. But it's a long way to go for no money.
It's a slog, isn't it? Although I'm starting to think about I'm going to start putting 10 spots in again now.
Why?
Just because I'm done with doing it for the money now.
Really?
I was going to do it for doing it.
Do it for the love.
I'm going to turn up and just go, yeah, I just want to play this room. I just fancied it. And they went, yeah, but you should be on it. You should be doing a paid spot. But no, I don't care. Just
yeah. Should be doing a paid spot, you cunts. Yeah.
Do you still enjoy stand-up?
I like it. Yeah.
Do you?
I absolutely love it.
You hit a time. Remember, I did the whole with you last year, and you were on a bit of a thing of I'm going to gig more, and it seems like you've been doing that because you were just gigging. You said you were just gigging at Hot Water, but now you're all out and about.
Oh, was that when we were gribbing?
Yeah.
Oh, sound, it was fine then. I just checking whether it was the time I died on my house, that's all.
Was that time?
It wasn't, was it?
There was one where we did, and it was really shit the Friday night.
Right, maybe it was that then. That wasn't gribbing, that was Andrew O'Neill.
No, it was Gribbin and Karen Bailey. Do you remember that? The Friday we were all awful.
No, I had a fine time.
And you left your bank card there.
Yeah, that wasn't.
And then you rang me up and went, "How was it for you?" Because you wanted me to say it was shit. I think. Was it not that? Was it the time before?
No, I had a fine time on that
We
weekend.
did it together once, and we had a tough time once.
No.
Definitely.
I definitely that weekend didn't have a tough time.
Not even the Friday.
Friday's always shit.
Yeah, the Friday was shit.
Yeah, but
Saturday
it wasn't
was good.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a tough. I mean, I had one where Andrew O'Neill was closing,
right,
and there was a new act in the middle, and it was
not me.
Sully. No, it was Sully.
Okay.
Comparing.
Yeah.
And that Friday was
right. Okay.
like that Friday, because I know how bad the Fridays are.
Really bad.
So that Friday was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And the Saturday, like say the Saturday was, and then but that Friday was.
Yeah.
Like women just started talking like 12, 15 minutes into me set.
It is hard.
So they'd given me an opportunity.
Yeah.
And decided, no. And I was like, and I literally said to them, I don't blame you. Fair enough. It's just like one of them, yeah. No, that weekend, I remember now, that weekend was fine. Friday's always shite.
Yeah.
And but it was fine, it was passable. And then
Right,
Saturday's great. I always come away from the Friday going, I'm never gigging here again.
Yeah.
And then the Saturday's great, you go, oh, all right then.
Yeah,
maybe I'll do it, but only closing.
Yeah. I like going there.
I don't put it in unless it's a cancellation. Unless it's like a late booking. Right, we call it?
Yeah.
That's
it.
it, is it?
It was a good pod, that.
Had a nice time.
It was fun.
What a privilege.
Thanks for doing it.
Come on.
Where can people find you?
Dom Attenwoods. I'm not looking to the camera. That's weird, isn't it?
It's up to you. You
Dom
can do what you want.
Dom Attenwoods. But then it looks Dom Attenwoods comedy, and then how do you not know this podcast? They'll figure it out, I think.
Oh, how do you not know this podcast? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you very much. Ta-da.
See ya.